Okay, welcome Master Your Money listeners. I am your host, Elizabeth Hiza, and I am so excited for today's show. We were just laughing behind the scenes because this is going to be such a great topic. But today we are talking about the new Trump accounts. And to join me for this conversation, because he knows way more about them than I ever will, or that most people ever will, is the famous Jeremy Huss. Jeremy Huss is the Vice President of Financial Planning at Barnum Financial Group and a longtime guest on Master Your Money. So welcome again, Jeremy.
Thank you so much, Elizabeth. So great to be back again.
As a reminder, Jeremy, as the Vice President of Financial Planning here, Jeremy manages, helps create, helps execute, helps make recommendations on all of the financial plans that go through our office. Jeremy is present. He is client facing as well as helping our financial advisors behind the scenes. Jeremy is also a master in his craft. So part of what Jeremy's responsibilities are here is to be on the forefront of legislation and any changes in legislation and how those changes could affect all of our wonderful clients out there. Is that a good summary, Jeremy?
You set the bar really high here, so I'll try to live up to the hype. But yes, absolutely. Okay. Thank you, Elizabeth.
So Jeremy is the man with the plan. He knows a lot about these, and we get questioned about Trump accounts all the time. It's a very hot topic with our clients right now. It's a very hot topic in the marketplace. I thought we were all on the same page about them, but Jer came in and threw a bomb out. So with a different perspective. So I'm really excited for him to share that. So Jer, let's hit it.
Let's go.
All right. So let's start big picture. What are we actually talking about here? What is the Trump account?
Yeah. So, this is a brand new type of account that will be available, not available yet, but should be available by July 4th of 2026. This was created by the One Big Beautiful Bill Act. To give people access, again, a different way to save money. It is focused around saving for children. So, added to the list of 529 plans, UPMA accounts. This is a brand new type of account that people will be eligible for.
And the goal is to start saving early for a child.
Absolutely.
To start that nest egg, that college fund as early as possible.
Yeah, really. And there's no, it's open-ended how it can be used. So they can contribute the funds. There's no distributions allowed prior to the age of 18 for the child. Mm-hmm. But then once the child hits 18, they can use it for whatever they want.
And it's not just an account vehicle. There's money deposited into that account.
Yes, for some people. So if you're born or if your child's born between 2025 and 2028, the U.S. Treasury is going to give you a nice little gift of $1,000 contributed to that account. So it's something you want to take advantage of. Certainly, if there's free money, I'll be the first one to take it. So absolutely sign up. And it's really anyone's eligible. So any child, U.S. citizen with a valid Social Security number are eligible to get that $1,000 if they're born during those dates.
Between 2025 and 2028, $1,000.
Yeah. Free and clear. For anyone. No.
Free and clear for anyone.
Yeah.
Okay, Jer, I'm with you. So you said anyone can qualify, valid, born in the United States, valid, valid Social Security.
Yep.
But how does the money part work? Like, how does the account setup work?
Yeah. So I would still say we were kind of working through logistics here that, the Treasury still has to figure out how these things are going to set up, who's going to open these accounts. So you open these accounts at a bank. So they're still working through some logistics
work
there.
In progress.
But the framework is that they will be held at some sort of institution, likely a bank. They do have to be invested in U.S. equities, typically low cost ETFs or mutual funds, but does have to be invested in U.S. stocks, essentially.
And then can you put into perspective how this kind of early investment could actually help a family or a child? Like, your child is born in 2026, 18 years later. What does that look like?
Yeah, so you can go on to the to trumpaccounts.gov. So they start to give you a little bit of framework. You can actually sign up and say, hey, I'm interested, and they'll let you know when these accounts become available. Great. But on that site, they do show the power of compounding. So this $1,000 investment, I think at age 18, can grow to $6,000 based on historical returns.
Yeah.
If you let that grow to age 55, it grows to $243,000. Just a $1,000 contribution. So
Estimates are for illustration only and are based on an account opening at birth with $1,000 opening deposit and are derived from historical S&P 500 averages. Actual results may differ and are not guaranteed.
Certainly a big benefit to letting that grow. That's one of the powers of compound interest. I think that's phenomenal.
I don't think there's any 53-year-old in the world who wouldn't appreciate having an extra, an extra 300 grand.
Absolutely. Yeah.
In their name.
And that's just a $1,000 deposit. Then parents have the ability to contribute to those accounts. So you can contribute up to $5,000 per year up until the child's 18.
Yeah.
So you start doing that. Again, it's on that site too. I think it was at 55, it grows to $13 million.
Oh, gosh.
So again, it could be a great some seed gift.
Jared, you have kids. I have kids.
Yeah.
I'm bummed this wasn't around.
I know.
But it's, $1,000 is substantial.
Yeah.
Like I remember when my husband and I first had our children, like there's no way we would have been able to put $1,000 away in that moment.
Right.
So starting with $1,000, and even if after that you can only add another 100 a month or 50 a month, starting with that 1,000 at least gives you that substance.
Yeah.
It feels more substantial. It feels like a real account.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that was the idea behind it. Let's put some seed money into the accounts. It was for children, born during Trump's presidency was kind of the idea, but get that seed money and get people starting to think about money early on. I mean, I think that's a great thing. So
do you think that's happening? Do you think people are, and I know it's so early because we don't even have access to them yet,
right.
But in your conversations, in your planning conversations, do you think this is going to shift how families do save and think about money?
I hope so, right? I mean, I think any sort of additional financial literacy, that's why I applaud you so much for doing these podcasts. I mean, any additional financial literacy that's out there, I think is beneficial to the public. I think it's important to put things in context too, right? This isn't like the end all be all and I got to put all my money into a Trump account. Like that's not the solution either. But certainly getting people to understand the power of saving and investing early, whether it's for your child or for yourself, getting people to understand that I think is hugely important and impactful.
So you bring up a good point. And is this where maybe your perspective was different? Is, like you said, this account is not the end all be all. It's meant to, if I'm reading between the lines, it's meant to be a wonderful tool and a wonderful small gift. But where does this typically fit in a financial plan? And what's the risk of relying on this alone?
Yeah. I mean, I think it's a really good question. Again, certainly the free money, you're born 2025, 2028, your child is born during those years, definitely take advantage of that. These accounts do allow for employers to contribute to these. And there's a bunch of employers that have signed up and said, yes, we're going to do matching contributions contributions for employees. So that's great. Charities can also contribute to these accounts. So it's got, certain demographics of individuals might be eligible for. So certainly, if there's any ability to get some free money from these accounts, definitely take advantage of that.
Employers will contribute to these in addition to a 401k?
Yeah, that's what they've signed up for. So again, we'll see were they trying to gain favor early on, saying we're doing this and it doesn't play out?
Jared's a skeptic.
But we'll see. I mean, again, I think there'll definitely be employers that will adopt this. So again, something just to be mindful of in your benefits package. Is this something that I'm eligible for? And again, if I can get a matching contribution or just a contribution outright, definitely something to take a look at.
Okay.
But I think, broader picture, where does this fit? Obviously we always focus on our clients and making sure they're saving enough for their own retirement, right? So I think that's always my priority, is making sure that our clients are in a great position. Obviously we all love our children and want the best for them. But really we want to make sure we're on a solid foundation for our own planning before we start thinking about additional contributions on behalf of children. Also, if we're thinking about using this for education, 529 plans may be a better fit because the earnings are tax-free for education. These accounts will effectively work as a traditional IRA, meaning when the child reaches age 18, if I pull the money out, it's going to be taxable. The earnings will be taxable. And if I don't meet one of the handful of exceptions, I could also be subject to penalty. Okay. So something to be mindful of that. So if the idea is I want to use this money for college education, there might be better avenues to take advantage of. But certainly, wealthy individuals that got additional money to put away, they want a fast start. some funding for their children, this could be a great vehicle to do that.
Like everything in the world, everything in this show, it circles back to you need to work with somebody.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It's all about context. Yeah. I mean, it's really, and I always say this about financial planning, it's a world of gray. I wish I could give definitive answers about everything, but it's really, you can parse these things into so many different pieces, and it's really going to be dependent on the individual. So yeah, it's really understanding how it fits into the overall picture.
You're so right. When Jeremy came into this episode, I was like, Jared, this is like the best topic. It's free money. Yeah. And right away he was like, oh, it is. It's so great. But, and I am not a fine print type of girl. I'm a headline only type of person. But you're right. There's a lot of nuances when it comes to taxation. And when it comes to what you're using this money for, even if the big picture looks great, most people like me are just thinking about that big picture. Yeah,
you're looking at the headline. I mean, again, it has gotten a lot of media attention, which is great.
It is a great thing, but for a specific reason.
You want to make sure it's being used in the correct context.
Correct. Sure. And that you're not going to be penalized, because you weren't clear on how to use it, right? You shouldn't put all of your eggs in that Trump account basket. Sure.
And really, again, the child turns 18, it's their money, right? So that might create some concerns for people. Do I want my 18-year-old having access to the funds? They're going to go buy a car or go to Vegas, whatever it is. So you got to be mindful of that. You lose control essentially when they turn 18.
Could you change that or no?
No, that's how they're set up. And, UPMAs and UGMAs are, their type of accounts that's, typically 18, 21, you start to lose access. So again, that's something to be mindful of as far as how the child's going to use this account.
I love that. Also something that I certainly would never have thought of these things.
Right.
Love that.
That's why I'm here.
That is why you're here for sure. So they don't officially launch. Hopefully, I mean, they got a lot to do, right?
Got some stuff to figure out. They work well on the deadline, so we'll see.
Until July.
Yeah.
But from now until then, what should families be doing to prep? So if if you had a baby in 2025, or you're going to have one by 2028, how should they be thinking? What should they be doing?
Yeah, I mean, the first thing, again, if you have someone who's eligible or you have a child that's eligible, I would go onto that trumpaccounts.gov website. You can start to sign up to get information. Do your homework, start to do research as far as, different types of accounts, start to think about, broader picture, your overall financial situation. Like, am I in a position to be able to contribute $5,000 a year? Do I want to do a little bit? Have I explored all the other types of accounts that align with my goals? And is this the right one?
Because essentially somebody, and I'm thinking of my friends who just had a baby, they could take this account, this money, and just leave it. Yeah. Right. Because maybe their initial financial plan was to contribute to the 529, keep their retirement on its current path, and just break off a little for a 529. Yeah. And this money just grows as extra.
Yeah. And the $1,000 you leave to age 55 goes to 300,000.
Exactly. Yeah, right. And it's a set it and forget it type of thing.
100%.
But from now until these accounts are ready, it's your best bet to meet with somebody, to meet with your advisor, meet with the Jeremys of the world. Although we have the best version of Jeremy,
Thank you.
Meet with your financial professional to discuss what your options are and how this account could fit into your existing plan. Do you just leave it, or do you contribute more to it?
Absolutely. Yeah. I think, again, getting context of how that fits into your overall plan is critical.
Correct. Because even for families who are low income, or like I said, like we were, like at that time of our lives, contributing was just not, we were struggling with just daily bills. So contributing was not an option. But just opening the account, getting the money in there, is great for the moment.
Absolutely. That's a key takeaway for sure. If you're eligible, if you have a child that's eligible, definitely open those accounts.
Because it's no fees, no penalties. There's no reason not to do it.
Correct. Free $3,000, no reason not to. Absolutely.
So everybody should do that. If you had to, every parent listening, if you had to give them one piece of advice for this, what would it be?
Yeah, again, kind of going back to my previous comment. I mean, again, taking this all in context and making sure that your own financial house is in order. You're on track for retirement. You're on track to accomplish the goals that you want to accomplish for your own life. Thinking about, next level, your children's education. Have you put funding around that? And then maybe this is in addition to, that once you have those other foundational pieces in place, this is something I might look to in addition to. This isn't going to be a foundational piece of your financial plan, but it might be, an ancillary piece of that for sure.
So twofold. Number one, parents should take advantage of it. If you're eligible, go on the website, sign up, open your account when they're ready, get that money.
Correct.
And then the second piece is meet with somebody and figure out where this fits into your existing plan.
100%.
Beautiful. Jeremy, it's always so great having you on. You are such a wealth of information. Thank you for all you do for all the clients of Barnum and for all of us here. It's such a pleasure to have you.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you for listening to Master Your Money and Mindset. You can find these episodes on YouTube or wherever you listen to your podcasts. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed what you heard. You can follow Barnum Financial Group on LinkedIn and Instagram. Thanks so much.
All opinions expressed by the program participants are solely their current opinions and do not reflect the opinions their respective parent companies or affiliates or the companies with which the program participants are affiliated. Investments or strategies mentioned in this program may not be suitable for you, and you should make your own independent decision regarding them. This material does not take into account your particular investment objectives, financial situation, or needs, and is not intended as recommendations appropriate for you. You should strongly consider seeking advice from your own investment advisor. Securities and investment advisory services offered through qualified registered representatives of MML Investor Services, LLC. Member SIPC, 6 Corporate Drive, Shelton, Connecticut, 06484, telephone number 203-513-6000.